Okay, we're going to get started right off the bat with this laptop hinge from yesterday and fix that. And then we've got an unboxing to do. Let's go grab that. And I need confirmation of audio. Let's see here.
DougBetts said I'm working here.
Okay, that was just part of that unboxing package. I have audio confirmation and I was not oh, this is interesting. Yeah, I had tested the stream half an hour ago, and then when I went to select the stream, YouTube on Chrome challenged me, wanted me to sign in again. So I signed in, but that's with my base account. I had to switch to my account. Now I see over here on my monitoring tab, I'm not signed in, but I have signed in on another tab. So I think I can just refresh this because I can't even type something in chat. See, I was going to test SpeakerBot myself. See, now I can chat as an approved user. Let's stop all that stuff from happening. So I'll get that, and then we'll go do this epoxy. Now I did. There again. See, I didn't watch it. It's not enough to test prior to showtime.
Yes, sir.
I found that I have to check also after the show actually starts, because the confirmations don't always hold. So I looked at the videos yesterday of Soren, found a video where he explains why he uses hot glue for repairing hinges. And he said that the hot glue gun won't cut it. He uses the commercial grade hot air station. There's no way I'm going to buy that for this repair. And other people are saying that they like epoxy better anyway. And I have history with epoxy. And as you know, I have epoxy on hand. So that's what we're going to do right now. I have this set up. Should not take very long at all to do it. So let's start with, I'm going to protect my hand a little bit there. One thing I really did pick up from his method is to really use a lot of material. He had the hinges really encased with the hot glue. This thing is really hard to press. It hurts my hands. Okay, and I'll mix that up. I have the hinge here with a piece of tape. That's part of how I'm going to hold it in place. I have this driver, this nut driver here, to remind me to let you know that I used it on that nut that's on the end of the hinge. You can see the nut there, right there. I loosened that on both of the hinges so that it won't be quite so tight. I will be able to test that before I'm committed. That way they won't be putting as much strain on the hinges. Now keep in mind, this is not a laptop for a client. This is a recycle bin laptop that's now going to go to my grandson. Okay, so now got that mixed up good, and I'm gonna slobber that in there. So this is kind of me gaining some experience with this procedure and technique. Give me an exclamation mark Y if audio and video is working okay, since I'm not going to look at the screen right now.
Yes, sir. He, Bob.
There we go. Thank you.
Yes, affirmative. Yes, affirmative.
Now somebody else.
10-4.
Somebody else. Certainly. If I can get a word in edgewise. For those of you who don't know, I simply cannot continue talking when somebody else's talks. Even if it is SpeakerBot. Somebody in chat yesterday mentioned the nuts on the
Why,
ends
certainly.
of the hinges might be able to reduce the tension. So that would not have occurred to me. I was not aware of that. So if you'll speak up, I want to give you some points, whoever made that suggestion. Okay, so I got that in place. Use that tape. I'm also going to use this clamp. I was about to wipe off my
Why,
tool,
certainly.
but I don't need to do it with that. Somebody just came in with a why certainly. Are you watching in DVR mode perhaps? All right, that'll do that. Now I have these hinges positioned at such a point that they will support
Why,
this
certainly.
bezel. And I take these out. There. And then I can move that aside if I so choose. That's all of that. Now, the unboxing. Client calls me 2 days ago and says, we have 2 new computers for you to install. And they're asking, can you come over tomorrow to install them? I said, well, it's more cost efficient if I take them to my lab. So I picked them up yesterday. I got a little bit of story to tell, but let's go check on that. High points for the nut. Does anybody claim that they were the nut person? Who's the nut job? Who was it? Because they didn't actually give, Greg, you take the credit. Lawn Dog and I both mentioned that regarding nuts on the hinges. Okay, good. And my recollection is that Greg M was first, because I was thinking it was Greg M. I didn't even notice that Lawn Dog had it. But Lawn Dog, you have so much stuff. I don't read all of your comments anymore. Get some of them, don't get all of them. Okay, so then at symbol Greg M, and I'm going to give you 1,000 for that. And Lawn Dog, I'm going to give you an assist for, let's take it at Lawn Dog. I'm thinking honestly that you said it because he said it, right? Were you echoing what he said? And if that's the case, I'm going to give you 200. Glue, laptop. Greg, I would be interested to see if this holds over repeated use. Now, there's no point in putting glue on the top of those hinges because the screws are still in place. So putting the epoxy over the top, like Soren would do with the hot glue, I think is pointless. So I'm not going to do that. Okay, so now let's come over to this. Grab the computer. So this is kind of unusual, right? To have a bag. I have not blacked out the addresses and phone numbers on here. I have put sticky notes over it with tape because this wasn't shipped to me, it was shipped to the client. They purchased from Best Buy, but it's a certain kind of Best Buy. this is the computer all in one that belongs to that bag of stuff. It has a, let's see, it has a transceiver on the back for wireless keyboard mouse. I was told that they had not powered these on yet. I'm skeptical, but the keyboard and mouse that came with the one that's already unboxed are still wrapped up. So I don't think that transceiver is the one that belongs with this mouse, unless it is, of course. So this, and here it says inspected by Best Buy. These are open box purchases. When I asked the client if they had taken them out of the box and powered them on yet, she said no. And then a little bit later, she said it's open box. And it didn't dawn on me what that meant. So these are computers that have been returned and were purchased as open box at probably some form of discount. Now I'm going to switch to the lavalier. Got lavalier mic now. And change the aim of this camera a bit.
Read chat, please.
There we go. Read chat. John Williams says, maybe there were returned computers that had been sitting for a while. Returned computers that have been sitting. I don't understand why. I would think, yeah, they were probably returned from the customer. But sitting for a while, I don't know why you're thinking that. It could be, of course. Okay, now, let's see. There's that box cutter. Maybe I can manage this way. And this says security seal. You know, just kind of unusual and different, being the open box. That camera bounces around so much because it's on that gooseneck, flexible gooseneck thing. Well, that looks packed decent. This next one, stick my finger in those holes. Pull it out. Okay. Now let's try this way. This is all making this up on the fly. Ah, that'll work. Give a little more visibility. Let's see, that looks like some kind of tape regarding the camera, a hideaway webcam. Curious. Screen looks good. These are Dell all-in-ones from Best Buy. This one does not have a transceiver in it. Those are kind of rails or attachment points for the feet. I'm kind of thinking that maybe I should just bring up the other one that's already mounted on its feet. But let's have a look at what's in these boxes. Yeah, so this looks like the evidence that it's been opened before. Not sure what belonged in there. Power adapter, and there's the feet. Oh, I was thinking it looks like it takes a screw, but no. I think it's just a, what? A stud of some sort that spring-loaded, I think, goes into this hole. That's a difficult place to even get a screwdriver to. Let's unwrap the other one. All right, let's go ahead and try to assemble that. I'd like to get this up and running to where we can see how it handles Microsoft account, what version of Windows it comes with, device encryption, and secure boot. And is it 22H2, 23H2, 24H2? Since it may have been sitting around for a while, the comment earlier about sitting around for a while might be a reason to anticipate that it could be 22H2. Seems to me unlikely that it would be 24H2. Now let's see if we have it's already in the on position. Oh, we got a light, so I don't have to do anything regarding a battery. Now let's just try turning this on first, see if I get, oh, there's a light right there. A moment ago there was a light. Yeah, there's a light. So that kind of makes me think that it has been powered on before. Best Buy may have reset it so that I'll get the proper out-of-box experience. As you know, if you've been watching, I have a power strip mounted on the back of all three sides of my desk. I need to mount the feet. Now I can set this on its face because the face is not actually touching my desk because the bezel has some thickness to it. Let's see which way this is. Got to hit the ground. That looks like the right direction. Yeah, there's a spring-loaded lever on this that's going to fit into that hole. Then consider which side it should be. Yeah, this foot's supposed to point outwards, away, to give it stability. If I put it on this side, then it's going to be kind of like pigeon-toed. That was easy. Easy times 2. Power connected. Need a transceiver. There's a compartment for a transceiver, but it's not there. Try the mouse. Ah, that looks like a compartment. No transceiver. Oh, hallelujah. All right, I see the comment about getting the glue away from this computer. Well, it's not near this computer. Those are two separate parts of my desk. Okay, there's a power button underneath on the right side. Marginal chance that they might be Bluetooth as well. This looks like it's had some desk mileage on the bottom of this mouse and on this side. Looks like there's some wear. There's a Dell logo. I don't see anything significant on the keyboard. A little bit of a smudge on the space bar. That could have been me. Yeah, there's no activity. I took the transceiver out of the other computer. It certainly should not work with this keyboard and mouse. Indeed, it doesn't. So I'll try with the other keyboard and mouse. Of course, I could use one of my own, but I have to answer this anyway.
Read chat, please.
Wait a minute. Is that a different mouse? Yeah. I think is this the mouse that I had looked for? This is one of my mice. This is one of the new mice. The new mice are identical to each other, and they don't have that kind of opening. So I got things mixed up and confused. That's what happens when you try doing live YouTube. There's a transceiver. Now it's transceiver. Ah,
Read chat, please.
there's a slot on this mouse on the side. Service tag. Okay, I'll get to that in a moment. Ah, there we go. Upside down. Thank you very much. Let's see, who asked for that? Wintermeat asked for that. Service tag BTYZW74. Could somebody type that in chat, please? I'll read it out again. BTYZW74. Phonetically, it's Bravo, Tango, Yankee, Zulu, Whiskey, 74. See, somebody get Wintermute's got it. I'm double checking. BTYZ W74. Yes, that's it. And while I'm here, I'm going to point out, since I just noticed it, these feet. There's the motion on it so that you can angle the computer. Oh boy. This is the one I just pulled out of that mouse. This is the one that I pulled from the other computer. Why did my PC restart? There's a problem keeping us from getting your PC ready to use, but we think an update will help get things working again. Here's how to get the update. Make sure your PC is plugged in. If this PC uses Wi-Fi, connect to the network by clicking on the network button below. If this PC does not use Wi-Fi, insert a network cable to connect wired network. Once you're connected, that's curious that it went to that message. Okay. So the keyboard and mouse that I think came with this computer. Ah, I do have mouse movement. And I do have keyboard. Now I'm going to try an HDMI connection. It's probably not going to work for my capture card. I mean, it's probably not going to work until I get into Windows. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to connect to the internet. I wonder if I can get Shift F10 from here. Nope. It's quite possible that these computers were not going to give me the out-of-box experience, but because of those inspection stickers, it was apparent that they probably have reset these to be the out-of-box experience, and of course now we see that is the case. Continue in English.
Set up your device using a screen.
Hit the speaker button to mute the audio. United States, US, second keyboard skip. Connect to network. So let's try Shift F10. Try Shift FN, F10. Yes, so I had to use the FN key to get the Shift F10 function. I was thinking I want to demonstrate OOBE. Well, it's not, okay, so it's not typing. Here's where somebody has recently asked this a couple times. I did the Shift F10, got the command prompt, started typing on the keyboard, nothing's happening. I got to click inside this window and then OOBE / bypass NRO, and I'm actually going to try just -H. No, it's going to go ahead and do it. I thought I might be able to demonstrate that both techniques still work here. Wintermute just put in a link for a Dell site. It says 5th time is the charm. Were you having trouble? Did you give some other ones previously? Now, how about, can anybody find on Best Buy an open box price for this? I did not ask them how much they paid for it. Wintermute says it wasn't coming up for some reason, the other links, I suppose. Looks like you retracted them. This particular client, I spoke with like 3 different people about these computers, and I got different answers from them, including where they are destined to go to. That was told to me wrong at first, as far as what desks they go to. So here we got English, continue in English. Now, did the bypass NRO work? Am I going to get a username prompt? Or I got to say I don't have internet, because I did that wrong last time. Skip. Well, you guys had to tell me. There it is. I don't have internet, showing down here. Now, I don't know, I can't swear to it that it wasn't there first time through here. I'm not sure if I looked at that. I don't have internet. Now, you know what? I could demonstrate the other technique here too, because of course if I do, I don't have internet. That should take me to a user prompt. I'm going to try it this way. I don't have internet. Okay, that gets me right to where I can enter a name. Can I go ahead and demonstrate the other method from here as well? Shift FN F10. Yes, I get a DOS prompt. Click inside the window and start typing. In fact, I'm going to double check something there. I'm going to close that DOS prompt and come back and do Shift F10 F10 again. Shift FN F10. Then I'm just going to move the mouse up into the vicinity of the DOS window without clicking. Nope, have to click. Okay, so the other command, I was bragging about how well I was remembering it, and I didn't even try to remember it this time. Oh yes, ms start space ms hyphen, fingers offset on the keyboard, got the wrong key, ms dash, and then let's see, it has a cloud x host, cloud experience host, and there's something else, cloud experience local only, colon local only. Okay, so that was all. You saw me retrieving that from memory cells live. Did I get it right? If I got that right, it should go straight to a user name. Yes. Let's see if I get capture working yet. Nope. Let's see. Who's going to use this PC? Now, right now it's asking for a username and a password. So I'm going to call it user. I have specific plans for how I'm going to set this up. I'm actually going to be using a cloning technique. So whatever I do now is only to see how this computer comes. I'm not going to be using this setup. If I put in a password, watch what happens when I start typing a password. It puts in these security questions I have to respond to. Wow, who wants to do that? So my recommendation is don't put in a password yet. That way you don't have to mess with those security questions. So doing the username of user, no password, click next. Device registration, I'm going to remove the check mark for use my email. I'm not going to fill this stuff in. There's a checkbox for I've read and agree with Dell's privacy policy. It seems like I would have to check that before it would let me advance. But let's try next. It let me advance without saying that I agree. Bluey Soft, excellent is $592.99, at least from what I'm seeing. Fair condition, $477.99. So are those, they show different Daniel Pert says they show different levels of condition, ranges 432 to 489. I'm assuming that's all the, out of box. I was distracted a little bit with Phil Stodd's comment. Yeah, the bypass NRO, when the computer restarts after doing that, the only thing that does, it gives you the ability to click on that I don't have internet link. And then once you can click on that, that's what lets you put in a local user account name. Privacy settings, let's see if we get a capture. Nope. I wonder if I haven't even tried doing a capture since I did that recabling. So I don't know if I have that set up right. Find my device in diagnostic. I'm going to switch this to required only for diagnostic data. Oh no, that says include optional. Turn it off, it gets required only. Inking and typing, I typically turn that off. Tailored experiences, I'm fine with that, and click accept. And there's a desktop. Now, we should be able to get capture. Okay, I'm going to have to check my connections. Okay, I heard a didink. when I switched into the other HDMI port. Still don't have anything there. Right click on the desktop, display settings. It does recognize two monitors. I'm going to change it from extend these displays to duplicate these displays. Keep changes. Okay, so I know the computer is recognizing the connection. I'm going to come back here to Capture 2 and make adjustments in OBS. Okay, there I changed to the port 1 on the capture card, now going back to port 2. Still no dice. I know that HDMI cable is connected to the computer, otherwise I wouldn't have got the audio recognition. What's missing? What am I missing? Try it again. No dice.
Read chat, please.
It shouldn't be a display driver. Ran Israel, instead of no signal, it warns about copy protected content. Oh, does it? Oh. Good catch. I have had that happen when copy protected content was open, even in another
Read chat, please.
window. Baby Beast doesn't have anything open because it was restarted this morning. Yeah, I'm thinking restart, Phil. Seldom ball. No, copy protected means setting change on the Dell is needed. Let's see. Let's get your comments better here. Restart the Dell I'm interested in.
Read chat, please.
Use the other HDMI. This is on an input port. This is one. This one is an input port. Okay, that could be. That could be. I'm feeling optimistic about that. Now I've already moved it from one port to the other. But maybe that message changed. This one is labeled, the port that's plugged into right now is labeled as just HDMI. The other port it was labeled originally, the one that was connected to originally, says HDMI with an arrow pointed in to a circle, which implies to me that that is the HDMI in. So I'm thinking once I got connected to an HDMI in port, that may have triggered the issue, and perhaps now a restart of the Dell will resolve that. I see your link Wintermute, but let's go ahead and try a restart. And it is. Yesterday was Windows Update. Now, none of my computers got triggered for a restart until this morning. So as a reminder, if you get people contacting you about strange symptoms on their computer, make sure they restart their computer and see if the symptom is still present, because I've seen a lot of very strange, oddball, one-off symptoms when a computer is needing to restart to install updates. While that's coming up pretty quick, let's just check. No. Now, the other thing that I've seen, no, when I have that problem with Baby Beast copy protected content, like if I have a movie on Hulu or something,
I'll get that message. But when I restart Baby Beast, then it comes up fine. Still copy protected content. Let's go see what Wintermute's got here. Is this directly to the right point in the manual? Yeah. Yeah, here, this is the one that I was originally connected to. Now I'm connected to
Read
port
chat, please.
3. 2 is the HDMI in port. Microphone echo.
Read chat, please.
Okay, that'll fix the microphone echo. I think what happens there is when I switch back to my camera 1 button, it turns on the desk mic and does not turn off the lavalier mic. So I need to remember that. Bluey Soft, I noticed your message yesterday about your your name change. Can almost remember your old name. But anyway, just to let you know I noticed. Now let's just connect back. No, it doesn't make sense to connect to the other port. How about shut the computer down and disconnect the cable. Disconnect the HDMI cable. Then start the computer up. Connect the HDMI cable after it's started.
Read chat, please.
Domain 2000 says, what is the GPU? Could be a driver setting bug. Possible can be changed. I think Wintermute provided a link to the Dell site, so you can answer that there. That sounds like you're spitballing,
Read
which
chat,
is okay. But I'm going to go with basics first. Martin Hogg, is it missing drivers in Device Manager? We'll check on that, but that should not cause this issue. Of course, shoulda, woulda, coulda. It is what it is. Yeah, this is still saying copy protected content. Wonder if I can deal with that in OBS. Can I connect to a different computer? Okay, I'm connecting to one of these mini computers that are on the desk behind the all-in-one. See if I can get a signal on one of those. Yes, I have a signal there. So that should clear the copy protected content. Now if I connect back to the all-in-one and get a copy protected content, then I'm more interested in considerations about the configuration of the computer. I don't have a keyboard and mouse connected to that computer. I just wanted to prove that my capture card is working. And the HDMI cable is working. Now connect back to the standard HDMI port on the all-in-one. Still no dice. Unable to capture. If you use an iPhone, iPad as input source, please go to Settings, turn off HDCP
Read
off.
chat,
If we can
please.
find a place to turn that off. Do not use HDMI splitters to bypass copy protection. Seldom ball, HDCP. Bring that up on the screen. HDCP, high definition copy protection, which is a setting on the source device. Okay. Now where? Display settings, AMD Adrenaline software. I'm kind of like to get help with that one. Does anybody know where to go find that? Yeah, Bluey Soft is saying you might be able to. That's spitballing again. I'm going to try to be a little more intelligent in the approach for this. Where can I find this setting on a Dell all-in-one computer? I haven't even read that through
please.
to see if it makes much sense. Explaining it here. Can you bring up an OSD on screen? Huh. Like the way you would do with a standalone monitor.
Read chat, please.
Phil Stodd, you will need to turn that off in the AverMedia software on the capture computer. So you're saying on Big Beast? It's starting to feel like you're going to have me jumping all around. Is that a guess, or do you really know that? And I need to start asking, are you guessing? Are you throwing out an idea, or do you actually know that? No simple disable button. Does not generally provide a direct option. So no on that. I like the idea of finding a place to do that in the AverMedia on my computer. Okay, how about this? Can I disable HDCP in the AverMedia software on the computer that I'm using to capture the
Read chat,
HDMI
please.
output from that computer? Okay, so Phil says he has an AverMedia device and have run into this problem. Do you know where to get to that? Provides the setting in their software. Typically find it. Okay, so let's press Windows key, AverMedia. Settings, look for an option. Settings and configuration for that device. Look for an option related to such and such. Okay. We are on port 2. I'm going to double check that. Yes, it's port 2. That's a mixer. Settings down here maybe. Nope, that's for Gemini underneath. Let's maximize this. Pencil, edit. Settings, that's color settings. decode format. Auto, maybe turn auto setup off, might get other options. Let's see, it's getting more specific. Look for an option, HDCP detection. Your capture device, AverMedia, your specific capture software. See, I'm looking at a specific port. Multi-single. Capture mode. Multi-single. Here's a settings gear. This feels possible. General. Media share, no. Capture stream. This looks like where I was at. I think I'm going to have to move along, let go of this, because we're not getting it. Brian Lightfoot, what are you saying there? AverMedia taskbar says HDCP. AverMedia taskbar. If you'd have given me a read chat, please, I could have seen that when I was at that point. Greg M, I don't know if it's an AMD GPU. You have the link available in chat for information about this. Brian, where are you seeing that? AverMedia taskbar says HDCP. Phil Stodd says, when I select capture device, why didn't you use an exclamation mark C? Come on.
Read chat, please.
Get out of settings and you should see the taskbar. I'm in settings here. I click around to media share, to capture stream. Yeah, I'm still not seeing that. So Phil says, when I select capture device in RE Central settings, I get an option for turn on or off. Maybe I need an upgrade. Am I too deep in this? Saw a place for updates earlier.
Read chat, please.
Phil says go to settings on the scroll wheel in the upper left. Update would be down here. Check for 4.7.110.1. Can you compare that to your version, Phil? I'm up to date. So he says when he selects capture device in RE Central settings, is this RE Central? This is RE Central, and this is settings, or on the settings on this wheel. An option for turn on or off HDCP. So which one of these tabs are you on when you see that, Phil? Because settings has these 4 tabs.
Read chat, please.
Phil says his version is 4.7.114.1. Click on the capture device. It was this one. Oh, there it is. There's a tab. Why did we not see that before? Cannot watch and record from iOS devices. Turn off. It's recommended to turn on unless the support detection unless this. It is recommended to turn on HDCP detection unless the source is from iOS. We don't care about your stinking recommendations. Is it that quick and easy? Do I have to then restart or something else? Does that turn on my overhead mic again? Oh, it didn't. Waiting. Checking to see if that gives you an echo again. It didn't. All right. Thought that was going to. Oh,
Read chat,
the
please.
computer went dark. The default screensaver settings. Come on, wake up. Wake up, little Susie. Read chat. Phil Stodd says, because you were on the capture stream selection of the scroll wheel. All right. Let's understand that. If I come up here, capture stream, it wasn't available here. But if you go to settings, then click on the device. That's when we get to that. Very good. Very good. So that was Phil Stodd with all of that. Phil Stodd, let's get you some points. Very good. Checking. Did I set up for that? Manual points. Let's see, get down to technical. There's something that I had here about something that I'm struggling with during this show. I think it was this one. I'm not going to bore you with that. Yes, you're welcome, Phil. Okay, it's well. There it is. It's up. It's up and running. So that last failure to see it was because the thing had gone to sleep. Sleeping on the job. Okay. Now, I'm going to try to rip through these things we care about pretty quickly here.
Read chat, please.
See you later, John. Okay, Windows key R, WinVer, Windows 11 Home, 24H2. Wow. All right.
Microphones. Bring this microphone closer. Yeah, I'm surprised to see 24H2 on a open box. Then we'll get right click on start button, device manager. There's no bangs, no other device section. That all looks good amundo. And then we'll do, see, it was home, so it's going to be device. All right, yeah, device encryption. To manage your encryption settings, go to settings, update and security device encryption. Oh,
Read chat, please.
what did it say? I see that the device encryption settings. There we go. Yes, shows as on. See, Zvi said, check at 52. Is it for Zvi's comment back then? Yeah, at Best Buy, open box conditions, $498.99. Okay, I'll look more at that later. And conditions, oh, excellent, good, and fair. Oh, you know what? This box, now that you point that out, this box
actually identifies which one it is. See, that label is the information. Oh, AMD Ryzen 5 7530. Integrated Radeon graphics. That condition was on one of these labels. Now, I don't know, the computer that came to me without being in a box, I don't know what its condition was, because I didn't see its box. And I think the label that has that actually includes the word open box. Yeah, here it is. Inspiron 24-inch touchscreen, condition excellent. Yes, touchscreen.
Then I want to show also that in disk management, you can see the encryption right here where it says BitLocker encrypted, and that's normally the case on the major brand name. So HP, I expect that. Dell, I expect that. Lenovo, I expect to find encryption enabled. And I refer to this as partially enabled because it doesn't get fully enabled until you provide a Microsoft account. Here it says sign in with your Microsoft account to finish encrypting this device. So at this point, you can just turn this off. Takes a little bit of time for it to do that, but we can still do other stuff while it is doing that. Oh, that reminds me that I was intending to show you on Baby Beast here. It's ready to do the oh, wrong mouse. It's ready to do the what do you call that thing where it installs updates? Restart now. Okay, so that's off and running with a restart. Decryption in progress. And then let's go look at the security thing. MS info. Secure boot state is on, and I expect that with the major brand name computers. 8 gigabytes of memory. Now keep in mind, I did not select this computer for the client. They had asked me, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago about new computers, or I got into the conversation with the owner. So I told him about these mini computers and the N95 all-in-one computers. And he sounded like that's what he wanted to do. And then I got a call a couple days ago, hey, we bought a couple computers. Why don't you come set them up? These two computers are the exact same model as two other computers that they already have. So I actually kind of like them having standardized on one particular computer, and they like these all in one. So I'm totally fine with that. When I went to pick these up, I made a backup image of one of those two computers. I had them select which one of these is most similar to the way you want these new computers set up. And I explained to them what I was going to do, and that saves them a little bit of money. They're the exact same model computer. So image backup, I'll restore that image to these computers. Then I'll use the default profile utility that was originally turned on to that by Zavi Minor, if memory serves correctly, which has become a regular tool for me. And then create the new account, the new user account, and change the computer name. I'm not going to change the computer SID at this point because the computer SID utility currently is not compatible with 24H2. They're expecting an update for that towards the end of this month, but it doesn't make any difference to computers that are not logging into a domain, don't have a vertical market software that requires unique computer SIDs. And these are, well, they do sign in with a Microsoft account, but I've already proven that it doesn't matter with those. And I'm keeping myself a list of the computers that I have restored clone images to so that I can follow up with changing their computer SID later. It's a very quick, easy thing to do and just kind of future protects. I saw Baby Beast come up on screen probably about 60 seconds ago. So it completed that update. The computer out in the kitchen, it had 2 restarts to complete the update, the installation of the updates. Okay, now I'm about to put this show to bed. Is there anything else that has become our routine to check for on new computers to see how they're set up? I'm not thinking of any. Oh, yes, AppWiz. Because how much clutterware from Dell? See, there's this Dell stuff, there's McAfee. I'm not going to uninstall any of that because I'm going to restore that backup image, right? That would just be wasted effort here. As a matter of fact, if it weren't for the case that I was going to set this up on this show, I would not have even performed the out-of-box experience. I would have booted straight to a Macrim Reflect flash drive. Don't even do the out-of-box experience at all and just restore the image. I have proven that the Windows license key works fine out from BIOS, and that technique works fine. Sometimes, so far every time, when I use that technique, I'll boot to the Macrim Reflect and I'll first make an image backup of the drive prior to any out-of-box experience being performed. So I have that image just in case I need to go back to it. But I think over time, I probably won't do that anymore, or at least won't have to repeat that on subsequent computers of the same model that I already have an image for. Okay. Is there anything else that you're wanting me to check on? Because we're going to shut this off. Shut this off. Oh, you have your wake word set to that word. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to protect that. You might want to just press the mute button on your device to prevent your Amazon Echo device from triggering when I say the C word. All right, I don't see anything else. Purchased together, they would be of similar condition. Not necessarily. It's quite possible that they might have purchased one that was of lesser condition knowingly, and therefore it actually came without being in a box. That might have been enough to not call it excellent. And why didn't they order a second one? Because there was only one available to order. So then the second one they had to pay more money for because it's in excellent condition. So it's entirely conceivable that they're not in the same condition. When I turn the other one on, I might find that it just goes straight into
Read
a
chat, please.
local user account without having been reset. I kind of doubt that, but it's possible. I will let you know. I'm not going to hold that for a show. That's why he said one would hope. Got it. Yeah, if they were ordered at the same time and in the same condition, then they're probably going to be pretty similar, but you know, they're returned. So could be different. Hello, Nor's Hardware. Don't think I've seen your name for a while. Good to see you. You know what? Let's just do this. Since I haven't seen you for a while, Noir's Hardware, I'm gonna go do this. @NOIR. I'm just gonna throw you some extra points just for showing up. Good to see you. All right, let's shut it down. I'm way over time. There's the email address. You can send a question. I didn't have any questions on tap. I don't think I had any questions. Did I even check on channel comments? No, I have comments to respond to, but none of them are actual questions. So you can send a question there. That's the main reason for this channel to even exist, is to help people with issues that they're having on their Windows-based computers. And if you've been watching the video during the live stream and you haven't been able to chat, and you didn't notice the instructions in chat for how to deal with that, what you need to do is put a comment on any of my videos asking for chat approval, any kind of wording that gets that idea across. And as long as your YouTube channel doesn't fit the profile of being a troll, then I will approve that. And the next time I have a live stream, you'll be able to chat. So there. Have a great day, everybody. I will catch you later. Goodbye.
That's all, folks.
Tune in 6 days a week for Windows support, the help you seek. Send an email, leave a comment, join the chat. Our tech-savvy crew is where it's at. Not just me, but a whole community, helping you solve tech mysteries. With friends who are here almost every day, we love to chat and help you find your way. So subscribe now, be part of the team, for Windows support and more than you've dreamed. Join the fun, don't miss a single stream. At LiveWindowsTraining-DougBetts or simply where tech support supreme. Where tech support supreme. Tune in 6 days a week for Windows support, the help you seek. Send an email, leave a comment, join the chat. Our tech-savvy crew is where it's at. Not just me, but a whole community, helping you solve tech mysteries. With friends who are here almost every day, we love to chat and help you find your way. So subscribe now.